Mad Sports Radio, The Gang Green Report with Mike Damergis and Rob Carpenter.
I'm running out of cigars, Rob. I have to run to the store. The Jets are 3-2. 3-2. They crushed the Dolphins 40-17. Unbelievable. They knocked Teddy Brittle out of the game. In comes Skylar Thompson. Hey, a win's a win, even if it gets a number 3 quarterback, right, Rob?
Hey, listen, they did what they had to do as far as the defense goes, and you don't wish injuries on anyone, but they knocked the starting quarterback out of the game, and the next person is up. It's the same thing that happened with the Jets to start the season. Zach Wilson goes down, and the next guy is up. Happened to be Joe Flacco, and this is how the game goes. You never know what's going to happen with your starters, whether it's quarterback, running back, receiver, or left tackle, right tackle. You just got to adjust and move on. And nobody's going to feel sorry for the Dolphins actually playing their third-string quarterback.
Yeah, you're talking about the backup. I remember it was 93 or 94. I can't remember. And Randall Cunningham got knocked out of the game against the Jets. And Bubby Brister comes in. And the Jets had a 24-6 lead, as I recall. Going off the top of my head here. And Bubby Brister led them back, and the Eagles wound up winning the game. So Even if you're a backup, were you on the team actually then with that year?
Yep.
Yeah. So whether it's a backup quarterback, I mean, this is the NFL still, third string or not, and who's ever in the game plays in the game, and the Jets beat who was on the field. And let's not forget the Dolphins aren't heavy on the quarterback. They're a well-rounded football team, and the Jets beat them pretty good.
I mean, people are, making those excuses that it's a third-string quarterback. Well, third-string quarterback doesn't play defense. Jets scored 40 points on that Miami Dolphins defense. So, the pendulum is going to swing both ways, whether it's going to be, a third-string quarterback or start defense or whatever, what have you. You just have to play what's out there. And, the Jets actually, it seemed their game plan was to kind of just pound out the Dolphins, and they did that. It was a run-heavy game. And the one thing I was actually glad to see, I had said it, I was hoping it would happen for the last few weeks, is that, LaFleur actually got Breece Hall involved in the running game. And, he got him involved in all aspects of the game this week. And we see what that kid can do, man. That kid's dynamite. And he's going to be a big play guy here for quite a few years.
Yeah, Breece Hall, 18 carries, 97 yards, 5.4 yards a carry, 2 receptions on 100 yards. Talk about that play coming out of the backfield where no one's covering the running back out of the backfield there. Talk about the design of that play.
Well, that was you've seen them run that pretty much every week. That's one of their design plays, actually get Breece Hall the ball in space. But the way the coverage was for the Dolphins, you could see that it was going to happen, and I'm glad they ran it early, so he can get out and get in space. And he actually just ran right by the corner. And the way Zach actually just waited for him to just clear and get him the ball down the field. And you see that he actually had a blocker with Berrios down there trying to impede the defenders down there. But you just get Breece Hall the ball in space. It was a perfect design. They've run it a couple of times already this season. I'm pretty sure now every other team is going to be looking for that similar type of play for him coming out of the backfield. But you can still get him the ball in space, because now instead of just running him outside of the wheel route, he can basically just come in on an option route, and he'll have the middle of the field to himself. So it's good that they actually are getting him the ball, in the passing game, get him involved, I should say, in the passing game, as well as now in the running game.
Zach Wilson, 14-21, ran in a touchdown. Took a hard hit there. I was a little concerned he was going to get called in for some kind of concussion hit. Zach Wilson, nothing spectacular, managed the game well, did what he could, and didn't lose the game.
Well, what you have seen from Zach these 2 weeks is a progression from last season, which I was hoping to see once he got back. You saw he didn't turn the ball over much, late in the season last year. He didn't have as many weapons around him, but he still didn't turn the ball over. So he's careful with the ball. Last week he had turnovers, but he controlled the ball this week. He didn't do anything crazy with it. He took his shots when they were there. He hit the open guy for the most part. There was one play that actually concerned me a little bit on that 4th and 2, where he tried to throw the ball down the sidelines to Corey Davis. Tyler Conklin was wide open in the flat. If he just takes that, that first down, they get to keep the drive moving, and who knows what would happen, scoring even more points in that game. But for the most part, he's doing what he's supposed to do, managing the game. And you see he's not flustered in the fourth quarter, no matter what's going on. whether they're behind or they're in front. He's taking care of the ball, getting first downs, taking what's there, and the Jets are a fourth quarter team right now. So it's good to see.
We talk about Sauce Gardner. Performance is unreal. Interception caused the intentional grounding that led to the 2-point safety to start the game. What a way to start off with Sauce, making an impact right away as a rookie. It's
great. It's great to see. It seems as though, the draft picks that Joe Douglas picked up this year, man, they're all contributing in one way or another, especially the top 4 guys, and Sauce, you can see he has all the confidence in the world. I was watching him in pregame warmups, man. He's out there. He's chatting it up with everybody else. You would think he's a 10-year vet out there. He has no fear of anyone. You see Waddle and Tyreek Hill on the other side of the ball, and most guys would actually be, have a little fear in their heart. Not Sauce. He's out there. He's ready for every challenge that comes his way every week, and it's a good thing to see. Yeah, him getting his first interception this week, another positive that goes on his notch belt, and there's going to be a lot more for him because again, he has no fear of anyone out there.
This a bit. Tyreek Hill, his numbers: 2 carries for 13 yards, 7 receptions for 47 yards. They really contained him. No matter, again, playing with the third string quarterback doesn't matter. They were able to contain Tyreek Hill.
They were trying to get him the ball. They were getting the ball in space, but the good thing about the defense is the defense rallied around. Once he got the ball, they didn't let him get out on any big gains once he got the ball in his hands, because Tyreek is like a bunny rabbit out there in the field. He'll bounce around, just trying to find some space. And the good thing is that, like I said, the defense was rallying around. Every time he got the ball, 2, 3, 4 guys were around him to contain him, to keep him away from the big plays.
And the biggest thing to me, what I haven't seen in 10 years, you see the offensive line really starting to dominate, and it shows their depth. And it's in running the ball, something that's been lacking on this team for a decade, really since Sean Green and LaDainian Tomlinson in 2010.
Well, I saw some of the film earlier today on Elijah Vera Tucker. Him stepping over to right tackle the first time in his career. He did an outstanding job. This kid, from going from left guard to right guard to left tackle to right tackle, in basically is a season in 4 or 5 games, is kind of incredible. You don't see that happen, to many offensive linemen. Him going against that, that vaunted, Miami Dolphins front, he handled everything. He was crushing it in the run blocking game. He had no pressures in the passing game. So this kid is phenomenal, man. And he's a big part of what's going on in the running game. And a lot of those big runs and chunk runs will run right behind him. And I could pretty much tell you right now that Breece Hall, once he gets the ball and he sees Elijah Vera Tucker in front of him, he knows where to go. And on the film that I watched, he was literally right behind Elijah Vera Tucker on some of those big chunk runs that he had.
A lot of the alum were there. You saw a lot of old teammates. Was the 80s team there? You see Joe Klecko there? Was he there at all?
Joe wasn't there. There was a few guys there from the 80s team. Mickey Schuler, Gastineau, a few more guys were there in attendance. But I was actually, kind of surprised that a lot more guys from the 80s and early 90s team wasn't there. But there was actually a very good turnout with a lot of the younger guys who actually, just finished playing. So that was actually good to see, because in years past, those guys weren't around. So a lot of guys from, early 2000s, mid 2000s were there. So that was really good to see.
Mickey Shula, there's a Mickey Shula sighting.
Actually,
he was one of my favorites. He was a great tight end for Kenny O'Brien in the 80s.
And I told him since we wore the same number, we're standing right next to each other in the warm-up lines. And I'm like, I hate to say it, Mickey, but I watched you when I was a kid. And he's out there watching the tight ends, and I said, your group of guys here, it's a good group of guys here. He's actually was smiling pretty good about that tight end group that's out there.
Yeah, the 80s teams went far. They were on the verge a couple of times in 82, the AFC Championship against the Dolphins. I think the Jets had a better team, and then 86, they had the Browns beat. I'll never forget it. Charlie Steiner with the call with 4:14 left. The Jets are going to the AFC Championship. They were up 20-10, and they lose in double overtime, 23-20. One of those losses I'll just never forget. He's Rob Carpenter. I'm Mike Damergis. The Jets win week number 5, improved to 3-2 on the season. We'll see you week 6. They take on Green Bay.
Yes, sir. Hopefully you get that win too.